1976. Yeah, late night. Let's see, 11:05 on the West Coast. Let's drop our little silent intro and get into some squatchy business and some local news. It's wild things out here in SoCal. Yeah, if you've been keeping up with the live streams, uh, there's been several deadly high speed chases out here. We've been covering the speed chases when they pop off. We like to catch them live, um, and then we catch them during the live stream sometimes. Like last night, we were reading off some Bigfoot notified of a live police chase going off out here in the Southland. So we streamed that, and so we do that sometimes. And yeah, it's been a crazy one. Things had calmed down for a bit, and this week things had just spiked up, and even today was another day of speed chasing out here, and we'll have a look at that. But there is some new reports added to some of the online databases, so we'll check that out. We'll see who's up in the chat. Dragonfly, what's up? I'm glad you came to hang out. Yeah, we're gonna kick back a little bit and see where this stream takes us. Hope you're doing well. How you doing, Dragonfly? We see we'll see who else gets notified and who else comes to hang out. I thought the Midwest Night Watchers were going to be streaming tonight, and I didn't see anything. I didn't get no notification. So we're going to rock it tonight and welcome on in. I want to say a happy birthday to my sister. Yeah, we're hanging out earlier. We surprised her with a dinner. She got invited to a dinner, but didn't know that most of us were there. So that was fun and sweet. We're hanging out in Pasadena, and yeah, right across from some old world buildings. It's pretty cool. But anyway, let's see. Could we throw up? We could do some. Let's throw up some balloons for the birthday girl. And what else? We could do quite a few things right now. Confetti, yeah, and a balloon. What's up, bass player? Five rings. What's going on, brother Roger? Welcome on in. Cheers to you, Roger. And thank you, brother, for liking that X post. I just seen I got a like, and I rarely get them from X. And I seen right now you must have liked something over there, Roger, because I did get notified of that. And I appreciate you all. Hopefully everyone's doing well tonight. And have a wicked cold bummer. Have you ever try fire cider? I like to take fire cider, especially when we make it ourselves, uh, to prevent that stuff. Or when you get it, just try and knock it all out. But yeah, we're gonna send you some healing vibes, Dragonfly. Hopefully you get well soon. Yeah, happy birthday, huh? Happy Earth Strong to my older sister. And yeah, good family time. So yeah, we closed the shop a little bit early. Actually, we didn't close the shop. We had there's a friend of ours, and she's actually covered for us before. And she's covered for me while I've been out, and she was able to come through today. Spent a few hours at the shop. Spent a little time there, and then after dinner, I went back to the shop. I actually left my studio there. Just brought the laptop with me, and there is a show going on tonight, so my brother stayed. Shop is open, so anyone in the area need to stop by the shop. You can, and I who knows, he's probably gonna be there pretty late, but I will be there in the morning. So shop will be open tomorrow as well, and I don't know. I think there might be a show tomorrow also. So yeah, tonight's I think a punk show, and yeah, when I got there, it was it wasn't. Everyone was pretty chill. It wasn't a madhouse, but yeah, quite a bit of traffic. And let's see, we're about to hit 11:11 in a few seconds here. We'll see if we spot it. It's 11:10 here. And what else? Yeah, it's just been crazy out here in Southern California past few days. If you've been keeping up with some of the streams, and I've made some members only videos. Some of those speed chase videos will stream them live, but I've been starting to make those for members only just because I know not everyone's into that stuff. But we have another one. So another one happened this morning out of Beverly Hills. Yeah, GTA, I think it was, and it's not the first time it happens even in Beverly Hills, which is surprising. And there it is, 11:11 for all you angel number lovers. It's about that time. Do what you do. What do you do? Make a wish, or do you meditate for a second? Smoke a bowl, perhaps. Yeah, but anyway, we'll get into all that stuff. So let's start off. Let's see, how do we start this off? Let's just go ahead and do it, right? So we've been keeping up with some of these reports being added on the Bigfoot mapping project, and it's been interesting. We've been checking out Ontario, Canada. It's been lit up as of late. And look at that. Zooming in there, you can see all these reports that have been added. We read the latest ones last night, which were these green ones here. But we've been also noticing certain little glitches on the site, which is not a bad thing. You know, you just got to kind of play with it. And I don't think we showed these last night, but look, there's a report here, and it's possible, you know, that I may have read these, but we'll take a little look and and see what's going on, because if these are new reports, they should be green. They do have a little greenish hue to them, so I've mentioned to watch out for that, because those could be new reports as well. And I did take a little peek at some of these just to make sure, like, I'm not doubling up and accidentally reading them. And usually I'd be able to tell because I'll recognize uh, parts of the report or whatever. And so we'll have a look at these. I think there are a few ones added. So we'll go by date. And you see here it says 4/10/26. And so I don't know if that part of Canada, maybe, yeah, I would imagine by this time they're already on to the next day, right? Which is today. We are oh, today is the 10th. So that's today. Yeah, I'm all mixed up today. I thought it was Thursday. I didn't even know it was Friday. Oh man, I'm all over the place. But so 4/10/26, this is new. So you would think that it would be lit green like these here, but it's not. We'll have a look here. It says 6'6" in height. It says it's a female, and it didn't vocalize. So it says, I was scouting my field and I seen a large humanoid figure looking back at me from the bush line. And a lot of these reports have been sounding like this from this Ontario region as of late, from this particular database here. So just a little heads up, you know, there's a few of them that popped up red flags for me. There was that one with the little bait. It talked about 20 to 30 little baby Sasquatches that look alien like, you know, stuff like that. It's kind of, yeah, I don't know. Right. And so it says, the figure looking back at me from the bush line. It says, we made eye contact and the Bigfoot looking creature ran off heading east. And that's about it. It says color brown. And this is near where some of these new reports have been added. So that's interesting. And it wasn't like an exaggerated report, but then again, it makes you wonder. And I'm just dropping the Squatch a little there. I don't notice any nearby Sasquatch reports there. Oh, there's one right here. Let's click that. That's from 25 last year. We can have a quick read. It's possible we have read this before also. And it says 5/17/25, 8:24 a.m. And it just goes straight on to the report. It says I was sitting in my home eating breakfast with my friend when I noticed a tall creature move past the tree and down into the forest. It was large, but it wasn't visible long enough to gauge approximate height or to identify its sex. Again, not exaggerated, and that's pretty close. It's not too far as the bat squatch flies there, and then here you have more up here, several here. So, you know, a lot of reports there. And there was another one that stood out to me. Let's see, right here, possibly. This, how do you pronounce that? Guelph? Guelph. And again, there's another one with a greenish hue to it. So it's like three right here in this spot. I'll click the middle one first just to see what it says. So this is yesterday, 4/9/26, 8:56, 7 footer. And we'll have a little bit of a read just to see if maybe we recognize this report. And it says, I saw something tall, dark, and hairy looking down into our basement suite. It was sort of bent over in the backyard and looked to be peering in from a bit of a distance. I went to get my girlfriend of 15 years, who was studying in the other room. And by the time we came back to look through the window, we couldn't see anything anymore. We messaged the upstairs residents, but they didn't see anything when they turned the lights on. They're a bunch of idiots, anyways. It really says that. This encounter freaked me and my girlfriend and her husband pretty bad. What? They got a weird relationship going there. Did I read that right? So we will be moving out end of the month. That's how it's spelled there. And it said it left footprints in dark brown. So, that makes me, another one. So, look, this one doubled up. So, keep an eye out for that. So, the one report right next to it is the same report as this middle one. And we'll have a look at this third one up here. So, this one says 4/7/26. And we have been reading uh the ones, I think it started at 4/4 and then it went to 4/5. So April 4th, April 5th, April 6th, 7th. So it's been like every day that these reports have been popping up on the site. So it's possible, again, we may have read this one because I think we covered most of the 7 reports, but maybe someone added a new one. Who knows? And let's have a little read here. It says, me and my dad were driving along the road and saw a tall, dark, hairy figure standing along the train tracks by the road. It was along the edge of the wood line. It looked like it was waiting to cross the road. We were driving slow, and it kind of crouched and turned to step back into the trees as we got closer. We circled back so we could try and see if it was still there, but it was gone. I'm quite startled by what we saw and fear for what is in the woods around us. This description is black on that one. So yeah, I don't think we read that one there. Again, near the town of Guelph, or however you pronounce that. I'm just clicking this one right quick. This is a 4-5. So we probably read that. So I don't know what's going on with all these reports being submitted. Is someone messing around, or is all of a sudden Ontario activated and people are just knowing about the website? There was a news report that we played yesterday. Again, a share by the homie Hillbilly Herb, and it's from his area, well, close to his area. And he sent me the newsreel, and in the newsreel they pulled up this mapping project. They actually interviewed the owner of the site, and Scott is his name. I forget. I got to remember his last name, but and he was just talking about what his purpose is, and it didn't give any updates on like what's happening with the app. We've heard of people, complaining about some issues there. And so this one down here by this Lake Simcoe, I don't think we read this one either. And again, it has that greenish hue behind it. Looks kind of yellowish, orangey. And again, this one's 410/26, 6:15 a.m., 8-footer. And it says, saw a large, wet, hairy, wild animal looking thing lurking around. Too scary looking to engage, so I got out of there. And this one's described as cinnamon. All right. Again, not exaggerated, so who knows? Maybe that newsreel did activate people and people are submitting their reports to the mapping project here. And the report starting at 4-4. What's up, Chiro Sounds? Is Juliana up in here? Sorry, I was just rambling there. Got Ivy up in here. Got the whole gang. What's up, y'all? Let's see who else. Oh, Moondog Davis. Aloha. Anyone else? I'm scanning through the chat right quick. Chiro Sounds. What happened? Y'all didn't go live today. I was wondering. I was like, I didn't get notified. I checked my phone actually like 2 or 3 times, and I didn't see any notifications. So hopefully everything's okay with you guys over there. Maybe you're taking a little break. And so yeah, let's refresh the mapping project while we're on here in case anything happens to pop up. And then we're going to move on over to the BFRO as we've been doing. Yeah, I don't see anything new there, so we're going to skip on over. So last night we got a new report fresh off the press. And I don't think I said my disclaimer. Yes, we know who runs this website. And are these reports real? Who knows? Hopefully they are. Hopefully you find some information that you find useful or interesting and you put that in your notes, and hopefully it'll come to use one day. Or maybe you've already experienced things, and when you hear these reports, it'll ring a bell for you. And so that's how I like to go about things sometimes too. Is like, my personal experiences, and when I hear someone else uh share something similar or the same thing, it's like, oh, ding 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 ding. It's like, yeah, this sounds about right. Cheers. Censored, in your opinion? Ah, wow. Yep. That's possible too. Yeah, huh? Why not? And just like Well, this particular site we've heard about. There's been a lot of talk, and yes, and then we know about the reports that don't get shared to the public as well. And tonight they have another report added here, so fresh off the press too. It's still steaming like some Bigfoot scat. Oh man, here we go. Hope everyone's having a great start to their weekend. We are here. So last night we read this one. It was 2009 British Columbia report. It was a Class B boaters report tree pushover and scream 40 miles northwest of Campbell River. So check out last night's live stream if you'd like me to read that report to you. If not, then hop your ass on over to the site here, peep it out yourself. And look at this. So we got a fresh one added, and it's from this month and this year. So fresh, and it's a Class A. It says West Virginia, Berkeley County, Class A. Two workers on third shift at Clorox plant have a sighting from railroad, and there we go again. The railroad. Ding, 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 ding. Let's see if we get our train to go by. You probably definitely hear it with the laptop speakers. So let's check this out. So railroad bed behind plant near Inwood around 1:30 a.m. So let's click that. It says report 80011 Class A submitted by witness Brandon Beam on Thursday, April 9th. So submitted yesterday, 2026. Two workers on third shift at Clorox plant have a sighting from railroad bed behind plant near Inwood around 1:30 a.m. And that report is from this year, spring, April, Thursday, West Virginia, Berkeley County. Location details there. Investigator M&M notes, and here are the GPS coordinates for where the figure was seen. And it was seen from railroad quarter mile from the Clorox plant. Nearest town is Inwood. Nearest road is Business Park Drive. Observe, this is Brandon's girlfriend, GF, reporting this incident. Two employees moving railroad cars on track in Inwood, West Virginia. They work for the Clorox company. They came to a stop quarter mile from the plant, looked off in a distance at a building that had a light source. Today, 1:30 a.m., 4926, they both saw a tall, approximately 8-foot walking creature about a football field away distance. They both looked at each other and said, "What the hell was that?" They didn't go looking for anything. They was working on the clock. Also notice long strides, tall, wide, blacker than black. Yep, we've heard that description before. He said it was huge, absolutely no bear or person. Of course, other witnesses, yes, two people saw it, my boyfriend and coworker. Other stories, yes, I know a guy who says he's seen a Bigfoot while hunting in Sleepy Creek State Forest. He swears to it, but everyone laughs at him. Not cool. And we could have a little laugh, but it's like if you're laughing like they don't believe you at all, like you're completely nuts, that's not cool, right? But it's like laughing at like, wow, that is crazy. And crazy meaning like a good crazy, like that's a trip. Unbelievable, but believable. So 1:30 a.m., cold in the 30s, moon was low and orange in color. Environment, it was in a suburban area, Interstate 81 near. So trip out in town, huh? Or suburban, or I wonder if it's what do they call it? There's a word, industrial, since it's a Clorox plant, train tracks. It's about 35 minutes from Sleepy Creek State Park. And there's the follow-up investigation by M&M. And there you have it. Some Bigfoot reports there. Let's see, censored and then MUFON, no different. Yeah. And you know what? I've been out with people sky watching from MUFON, and I've been Bigfooting with BFRO investigators too, but it was all good. No weirdness. But I would imagine, yeah, I know MUFON gets weird. MUFON got hacked, what was it, last year, right? Take a little sip here. All right. So there we have that. Bigfoot reports in, and I thought they were pretty pretty interesting. We'll have to keep digging in deeper. I know tonight or earlier today, Bigfoot Society dropped a video where he interviewed a guy from Portage County, Ohio, where the Ohio Flap started. And it was interesting because this guy gets into some of his experiences from the area, points out certain things. And so it was a good interview, I thought. And maybe we'll check that out in a second. Let's see. I'm going to hop over here right quick. So we can say what's up to Jackie. Well, I look up my channel right quick. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Here we go. All right, here we are, posts over on my channel. And what am I looking for? There's something I'm looking for. Oh, here it is. So Bigfoot Society, and there it is, Bigfoot of Portage County. So years before the Ohio Bigfoot flap. And it goes on there. Yeah, I recommend checking it out if you're interested on what's been happening in that Ohio area. Again, last night we touched on it again, and we know with the Ohio Bigfoot Conference is coming up as well. So I'm sure that whole situation happening in Ohio is going to be the talk of the conference. Um, and then we also pointed out it's interesting on the others. It's like if you go up, there's been quite a bit of reports coming out of Michigan too, and that's right, above Ohio there, and then Ontario, that rash of on reports coming out of Ontario. So that's, I mean, the other side of one of the Great Lakes. There is a lake. Which one of the Great Lakes is it? But yeah, that's interesting that that area of both countries, those areas are getting all these reports. So Chiro Sounds and I were hanging out earlier on Donut Stream, and I know this is definitely not for everyone, especially the topic right now, the Illuminati toilets and all that. It was funny. It was a good one, Chi. It was so I tagged Wildman, Sovereign Cosmic Wildman. This was for him. But anyone else interested, feel free to check it out. Viewer discretion be advised. And that's what that's about. Anyway, so I seen Eric is posting another video. It's another premiere. So this is premiering tomorrow at 10 a.m. And it's funny. Look, I had already pressed to notify me, so I gotta hit it again, and I'll probably have to hit it again after that. Yeah, make sure you're notified, folks, and you still gotta double check and triple check sometimes, especially that you're subscribed to your favorite channels. So yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Look at the title there, firing back, and we've been sharing the some of the back and forth, some of my selected YouTubers and people in the field. And again, I'm not, weighing in on any side right now, like many others. I'm waiting to see the documentary, and we'll see what comes out of that. And I'm sure that's going to be a whole other wave of what's been going on now. And it's just an interesting time for Bigfoot. So I'm just, enjoying the ride, and it's just yeah, pretty trippy. I haven't I could say I haven't experienced a year Bigfoot quite like this. This is a special year so far, and it's not over yet, folks. So hang on tight, cuz here we go. What else was I going to share here? There was something else. Steve Coles, the Squatch detective, also did this is the channel here, Squatch DTV. And I think I've seen Juliana over there, and he's got a new show that he did tonight that I need to watch. I'll be watching it after this. And as far as the Squatchy news, that's pretty much what I got for now. So we got those new reports in. We're questioning the reports out of Ontario right now off the Bigfoot mapping project. Um, yeah, we question them all. Some are good, some are and so it's up to you once again. And we're going to continue reading them until we see what Eric comes out with. I've been talking about Eric mentioning he's going to come out with a database, a website. He's already got it, a database. He's got a lot of stuff, a lot of artillery, FOIA reports. Um, Also, the website he talked about making an interactive map also. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. And so we'll be keeping an eye out for all that. Hmm. All right. Should we hop into today's news? So earlier today, the internet was down at the shop, actually from yesterday, which is a little inconvenient, but it's all good. And so this morning, the service hadn't been back on yet. And so I got to the shop. I, set up, did my thing. And it wasn't until later in the day I noticed, because I was, what was I doing? I was doing something. But later in the day, I noticed that I was watching a newsreel, and then they showed briefly that there was a speed chase earlier this morning. And I was like, darn, we missed that one. So I was like, all right, well, we could run it back and check it out. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then last night there was a newsreel talking about the chases lately and just the situation. And it was pretty interesting. And the changes they're talking about trying to make to try and help the situation with all that, whatever. Yeah. So we'll have a look at that and see if I remember anything else. Again, I don't have the studio set up. I wasn't really planning to do this. I just had a moment where I took a peek at the website, seeing some things were added. I was like, you know what? Let's do this. Let's touch base, say what's up to everyone out there, and See what these reports say. So let me hop back in the chat right quick. Donuts. Yeah, chat's all frozen. What's up? Everyone baked in there? The chat stayed stuck right here. Last thing was the donuts and some rabbit farts. And Juliana, last night I forgot to mention, I seen your right before I went live. I had just watched your video. It was, I think, a short, and it was showing the little piggies. Super cool, super cute, and I know they got a good home there. So yeah, always fun to watch that. And yeah, super cool that who else has a farm out there? I know Chiro Sounds do and Juliana. I'm just not at my farm. Darn. One day I'll be back. All right. So yeah, here we go. Let's do this. All right, this was earlier today out of Beverly Hills. Yep. Beverly Hills. You could get GTAs go down in Beverly Hills, folks. Unbelievable. And it's not super long. I haven't seen this. So heads up. And homeboy is flying.
Try to keep up, brother, because he's going really fast. Thanks. He's going really fast. Yeah.
Cutting through lanes like hot knife with butter. And luckily he's got no traffic. I mean, this time of the day.
Standing by.
Yeah, everyone's pretty much at work. Good, happy rising, Sharon. Look at this is how we wake.
It's actually a Grand Theft Auto suspect, stolen vehicle, Roxy, doing great speeds up here. At one stage there, hitting 130 miles per hour. This started in the Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills have been tracking the vehicle. I understand now it's got onto the 170 freeway heading north. It was followed all the way on through Los Feliz, got to the 5 freeway there, went through side streets, eventually made its way back into.
I don't recognize this guy. He's got quite an accent.
See, they're doing major speeds here, zigzagging in and out of traffic. As I said, we understand it's a stolen vehicle, a stolen Mercedes-Benz. They got onto the 101 freeway there. See, they're doing major speeds here, zigzagging in and out of traffic. As I said, we understand it's a stolen vehicle, a stolen Mercedes-Benz. Quite an expensive vehicle there, and it must have some type of tracking device. That's how LAPD, Beverly Hills PD were able to follow it. So at this stage, all we have the details is it was stolen somewhere out of Beverly Hills, and that Beverly Hills PD have been tracking it. And at the moment, LAPD are in control, assisting LAPD in the pursuit of this vehicle. And as I push in a little bit tighter, I'm trying to look in there. You can see there's obviously a driver, but unclear whether there's any passenger.
There's obviously a driver. Look at that, little past 1111 there.
Somebody inside there in the passenger side. You can see a hand or possibly, but at this stage, this vehicle moving at great speed, ladies.
Yeah, it's hard to, it's difficult to make out. Also, the windows are tilted. Do we do we know anything else as far as where?
You see, everyone's got that.
No, at this stage, I just heard that from sources on the ground that Beverly Hills PD were following a stolen vehicle. And from that, we just heard that that's the only information we had. It's exited the freeway now. It's in the North Hollywood area. Still driving great speeds here, 60 miles per hour on surface streets. So the way this guy is going, this is going to end very terribly if he doesn't slow down.
Well,
obviously, potentially knows the area where he's going. And just pushing a little bit tighter.
Oh, it looks like no one in the passenger side. Yep. Yeah, now we have a
that's correct.
View. You know what it is also, aside from the speed, this individual is just drifting in and out of these lanes, obviously just blowing past those stop signs as we see. Oh,
it's going into
a parking structure. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we see
So
this
it's got the
happen
parking
before.
structure out here.
We see this happen before. This could be a difficult situation also for the authorities that are in pursuit of this, because they get into a parking structure, they can get lost in there, they can ditch the vehicle, and then they can get to one of the exits and try to get out of this. So
What do y'all think? Is he gone?
police officers cordon off this area, and the suspect could be long gone. So we'll see as it pulls into this plaza here in the North Hollywood area. Do we know, Stu, Justin, which is this like a mall? Looks like.
Yeah, I believe this is the large mall they set out in NoHo. I think it's called NoHo West. You see the sign there. We saw this play out one night when you and I were talking, Bobby, on the air. Drivers, they sped into this car park and were able to get away. So, unfortunately, there were no.
You hear her whispering?
So we have no idea really of the identification of that driver. So that driver can literally drive into that car park, get out of the vehicle, pretend to be a shopper, and obviously just walk off into the day. So unfortunately, I think this one's chalk this one up for the bad guys because it looks like this driver may have got away.
All right, Justin, that's the NoHo West shopping center right off the 170 there in North Hollywood. We'll keep an eye on the situation there.
It's not over. There's Trader Joe's.
Yeah, we'll just keep orbiting quickly, mate, if it's possible.
Not over. And I don't see any units yet either, but supposedly they're tracking them. Yeah, I would imagine a vehicle like that would have something to, especially out of Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills is covered with cameras. Again, this was this morning. I hadn't watched this yet, so I don't know how it ends or what's going to happen next. What do y'all think? Is it a wrap? That's crazy if he got away like that. No units. Could be a Dundada.
If you see PD arriving, brother, can you let me know? Going into the structures, I mean.
Wow. Yeah, I think it's a wrap. Let's see here. Good thing I could forward this. Yeah, I think it's a wrap. Look at this. Cops are getting there way later. Hut. Wow. Anyway, there you go. Today's speed chase brought to you by NorCal. Oh man. Wild, wild, wild west. Anyway, chat seems frozen. I think y'all fell asleep over there. Maybe my reading does that to y'all. Maybe I should start doing these late night reads more because it'll help put everyone to bed. and I know I'm not that entertaining. So we're gonna wrap this baby up. Yeah, let's see, 45 minutes, not too bad. Touched base, we're doing all right. Hope you're doing well. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow. And yeah, you all take care. Thank you for coming by and hanging out, y'all. Let's see. Boom, we'll throw that up before we head out. And I think we could play our outros now. Peace.